goods issue. Now we are going to see goods issue to cost center. Goods issue to cost center. Now here, if I go to stock over MMBE, now the stock of this material is now 300. Now I'll open another screen. I'll create a goods issue MB1A. So from stores, if you want to issue the goods to a particular cost center, MB1 is the transaction code, movement type 201, plant and store location. Movement type 201, plant and store location. Press enter. Enter the cost center, material and quantity. Material and the quantity. Save. Save. Now material document is created. If you go to stock overview again MMBA, if you refresh, now the stock will be reduced from 300. Now the stock is 290. So this is one way of creation of goods issue. The other way is, first we create reservation. So first of all, what is meaning of reservation? Reservation is nothing but a store's requisition created from a particular cost center to stores department. Reservation is a store's requisition created from a particular cost center to stores department. And the stock is treated as reserved stock. We create the reservation more than the stock available. We create the reservation more than the stock available. So first I will create a reservation and the transaction code is MB212223. That is create, change and display. Enter the date, movement type and plant. Press enter. Enter cost center, material and quantity. Enter cost center, material and quantity. Save. So reservation is created. Immediately if I go to stock over MMBA, if refresh, now in the reserve stock you are not able to see any stock here. Now see what happens. The stock is displayed as reserved stock. So it can be created more than the stock available also. Now against the reservation we create a GI. So goods issue with reference to reservation. MB1A, movement of 201, plant and store. At the top of the screen you have two reservation. Click on the two reservation. Enter the reservation number. press enter. Enter the reservation number, press enter. Say. Now again, if you monitor stock overview, your reserve stock 10 tons will become 0 and this 290 will becomes 280 now. So this is again is the reservation creation of goods issue. Next, goods issue for sampling. So what is meaning of goods issue for sampling? Whenever you receive the stock of the material from the vendor, we will take some quantity of the stock of the material and we will issue for sampling to the quality department to check the quality of the material. Then they will decide whether they want to accept the stock sent by the vendor or they want to reject the stock when sent by the vendor. So at that time we will create goods issue for sampling. So go to the transaction code MB1A, the same transaction code, movement type changes. Enter material and quantity. Save. So document is created. Now again if you go to stock overview, if you refresh, already you have stock of 280 becomes 270. Next, goods issue for scrapping. Goods issue for scrapping. So what is the meaning of scrap? The company has purchased the material from the vendor and they kept the stock in the store location. Since from long time they are not using that material, then at a certain time the material has lost its properties, chemical and physical properties, and finally it's got expired. Then we'll declare that material as a scrap. That is one type of scrap. The another type of scrap is in the production planning department, when they are executing the finished component, a scrap will be generated during the usage of the raw materials. There we can call it as a scrap. So a material can be scrapped to one company and may not to another company. In your company it may be scrap, but that may be a raw material to another company. Okay. So a scrap material is may be scrap to one company and may not to another company. So whenever the material got expired because of not usage of the material for longer period, and the scrap will be generated during the production department to execute the finished material, at that time the scrap will be generated. So same transaction code, only the movement type changes to 551. Press enter. Material and quantity. Save. Again, if you monitor stock overview, the stock will be reduced. So these are different types of goods issues we have. And you can have goods issue to production order also. But whenever you have the production order, then you can do it. I'll show that, but we need to have the production order. So movement type here is 261. Plant and store location. If you use 261, you are issuing the goods again as a production order. Plus enter. So here you need to enter the order number. I will enter sample order number, but system will not accept because unless and until you get a production order. So it's not assigned to COA error. That's one. Okay, that's the main. So like this, we need to enter the order. Order is nothing but production order. So it means for this production order, we will issue the raw material of so and so quantity. So this is also one type of goods issue. Next, transfer posting from plant to plant. This process is applicable under one company code between two plants and two store locations. Transfer posting from plant to plant is applicable under one company code between two plants and two store locations where we extend the material to another plant and store location. So it means we need to maintain the material master in both the plants and store locations. We need to maintain the material master in both the plants and store locations. So first I'll extend the material master now. MM01. I will extend to another plant. So 2011 from 0012 you are extending the material master to 2012 and 0001. The store location can be same or different. Enter, 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 save. Now this is one step process. So one step process means immediately the stock reduces at supplying plant and increases at the receiving plant. Now we'll see. So I'll go to the transaction code MB1B, movement type 301, supplying plant and supplying store. Press enter, enter receiving plant, receiving store location, material and quantity. Press enter, enter receiving plant, receiving store location, material and quantity. Press enter and save. Now go back to stock overview MMB. Enter the material, two plants and two store locations. Enter the material, two plants and two store locations. Execute. Now here the overall stock is 260. In the first plant the stock is 130. In the second plant the stock is 130. So like this the stock automatically updates from one plant to another plant. So in the first step, in one step process, I transfer the stock from 2011 plant to 2012. Now next is two-step process. In two-step process, first whichever the plant is going to supply the material, that plant will create transfer posting. Now in this case, I will take 201 as receiving plant. So in two-step process, the supplying plant creates transfer posting to supply the material. Same transaction code MB1B, movement type 303, supplying plant and supplying stores. Press enter, receiving store location, receiving plant and receiving store location, material and quantity. Save. Then what happens here is immediately if you go to stock overview, you cannot see the plant 2011 store location. It will disappear. And at the same time, you cannot see the stock over here. Then where the stock will displace? The stock displays under stock transfer plant. at the receiving side. The stock displays at stock transfer plant at the receiving side. It means neither it is supplying side nor the receiving side. It is in transit. Now the receiving plant creates transfer posting to receive the material. This is the next step. Movement type 305, receiving plant and receiving storage. Press enter, material and quantity. It is agreed, buddy.